Hello everyone. Today we'll explain the next method of pest control, that is biological control or natural control. So in biological control, usually we can use different type of predators, parasites or the pathogens as a biological agent to predate or to feed upon the different type of crop pest. So biological control is basically the use of the natural enemies of the different type of pest organisms for the control of pest. So under natural conditions, most of the insect populations are regulated or controlled by a complex of predators, parasites and the pathogens causing diseases. And all these biological agents, that is predators, parasites or the pathogens, are sharing or utilizing the same habitat and belonging to the same ecological community. So, under natural conditions, whatever the species of the natural enemies of the different type of pest which are using or predating upon the different type of pest and ultimately helps in controlling or in the suppression of the pest population. So this is a natural control method, but intentionally we can adopt the biological control measure. So for this purpose we can study the certain pest which are having different type of natural enemies. So we can intentionally identify or recognize the different type of natural enemies of the particular pest, which are then cultured or grown in an adequate number and then are released into the particular field so as to predate or so as to control the particular pest population. So this is what the excess efforts, these are the excess efforts can be made for the purpose of pest control together with the natural control. Means here also we are going to use the biological agents or the natural enemies of the different type of pest. So together with natural control, we can intentionally study the different type of pest and we can recognize or find out the natural enemies so that which can then be cultured or grown on a large scale or in a particular number, and after which that are released into the field so as to suppress or so as to minimize the pest population, called as biological control. Under agricultural systems of the extensive monoculture, that is crop cultivation, under agricultural systems of the extensive monoculture, that is the monoculture means a crop cultivation, a particular type of crop which is grown or cultivated in the field on large area. The conditions are created that may induce a pest population explosion. Means same type of pest can be grown or multiplied in a vast number and increasing the pest population to reach to the maximum number called as population explosion. But often it is found that the natural enemies also increase correspondingly, and so the natural mortality rates of the pest remain high. Means ultimately, if the in case of monoculture systems, if the number of pest, particular pest, if increasing in a large number, at the same time, the natural enemies of these pests can also increase, and ultimately the rate of mortality of the pest population is also increasing, and the final pest population does not become very large after all. Means the pest population ultimately be controlled by the natural enemies even in the agricultural system of the extensive monoculture or the crop cultivation of a particular type. So there are mainly three type of biological agents which can be used for the pest control purpose. So first, that is predators. Will explain the first category of the biological agents which are useful in pest suppression or the for the destruction or killing of the pest population, that is predators. So first we'll explain predators. So the animals which predates and feed on the insects are very varied or in a different number, and as are their effects on the pest populations. Means the there are different type of predators and which are predating upon different categories or different type of insect pest, and the main groups the main groups of the entomophagous predators are as follows. So we'll explain the entomophagous means the predators which are feeding particularly onto the insects, that is entomophagous predators. So the main group of entomophagous predators are explained or given below. Though, so we'll explain them one by one. The first one is mammalia. So there are several insectivorous mammals. There are several insectivorous mammals like hedgehogs, bats, squirrels, etc., which feed on the insects. Many mammals are nocturnally in habit, means which become active during night and comes out of their habitat for the feeding or breeding purpose, and their diet contains variety of insects. So many mammals, even though they are of nocturnal habit, they also feed onto the variety of insects. Man is also great predators of the insect, as he can collect the insects by different methods, and insects can be roasted or fried and eaten by man in many parts of the world. Then second category of the birds, category of the predators, that is birds. So many birds, similar to the mammals, many birds are the natural predators of the insects, such as wild birds like tits and sparrows can be seen searching fruit trees, roses, etc. for the purpose of feeding on the aphids, caterpillars, and other insects. And thrushes eat large number of slugs and snails. Domesticated birds, domestic birds such as chickens, ducks are successfully used for the control of cotton stainer like red cotton bug and other bugs and rice pest in Africa, China and India. There are large number of birds which feed on the insects and ultimately will help in controlling the insect pest population in the field. Then third category of the predator, that is reptiles or reptilia. The small snakes, lizards, geckos and chameleons are the predators of insects. These reptiles feed on grasshoppers, butterflies, beetles, locusts, ants, moths, etc. Even rats are serious urban and agricultural pest in India. Rats are also serious urban and agricultural pest in India. The tremendous increase in a rat population is due to the destruction of their main predators, which are snakes, especially venomous cobra, especially venomous cobra and non-venomous but fanged and aggressive rat snakes, commonly called as dhaman. So, due to the tremendous increase in the rat population is due to the destruction of their main predators, which are the snakes. So, reptiles will repeat the same things again. The reptiles such as small snakes, lizards, geckos and chameleons, which are the predators of the insects. So ultimately will predate upon the variety of insects from the crop field or in a particular from the particular habitat and controlling the insect population. But rats are also serious urban and agricultural pest, and the tremendous increase in a rat population is due to the reduction in the number of their natural predators, that is snakes like cobra or dhaman. It is estimated by FAO that in India there are 5 rats per person, and that in recent years 10% of the grain harvest have been lost due to the rat attack. So the rat can destroy about 10% of the food grains from the India. So this is just a estimation, and this is because the rats are also of great economic importance, as they are serious pest and destroying large quantity of food grains in urban areas or different type of crops, even in the agricultural fields. So in recent year there may be uh, loss of the 10% of the grain harvest uh, can be lost due to the rat attack. Rats are also the pest of oil palm, coconut, sugarcane, wheat, and maize, and these serious pests can be controlled by encouraging the protection of the snake population. So, the reptiles like venomous and non-venomous snakes like cobra or dhaman in our area or in India, they are more common type of snakes found in most of the parts of the India, and that is cobra and rat snake, that is dhaman, which are of great importance for the control of the rats, and it is essential to encourage the people for the conservation of the snakes so as to satisfy the purpose, that is the biological control of the rats, which can occur effectively due to the multiplication or the increase in the number of the snake population. Then next group of predators, that is amphibia. Many frogs and toads belonging to class Amphibia are also natural predators of the insects. The giant toad Bufo marinus was introduced into Hawaii in 1932 to control various beetles attacking the sugarcane, and in Australia in 1935. Means in Hawaii the giant toads which were introduced for the destruction or killing of the different type of insect pest. So giant toad, that is Bufo marinus, was introduced into Hawaii in 1932 for the control of beetles which are attacking the sugarcane. And in Australia, the same was used for the uh, purpose of biological control in Australia in 1935. Rana tigrina is also an important predator which feeds on the insect larvae and variety of insects. Tigrina, which is a common frog of India or Maharashtra. Rana tigrina is a common frog of India or the Maharashtra, and is also important predator which is feeding on the insects or different type of larvae, and the even different species of the insect pest. Then fifth group of predators, that is Pisces. Pisces or the fishes which are belonging to class Pisces or fishes. The carnivore fishes are also the predators of the insect larvae, such as mosquito fish or Gambusia affinis. Mosquito fish or Gambusia affinis is the carnivorous fish and mostly feeds on the mosquito larvae. So for the control of mosquito larvae, we can employ or use the carnivorous fish like Gambusia affinis for the control of mosquito larvae, or for the control of disease like malaria in even in our vicinity. So this is a common practice. This is a common practice to grow The carnivorous fish like the mosquito fish or Gambusia affinis intentionally for the purpose of control of mosquito larvae or for the control of malaria in a past. Then next group of predator, sixth one, that is arachnida. This is the uh, class Arachnida, which are the arthropods belonging to phylum Arthropoda, class Arachnida. So, arachnids such as spiders and scorpions are the predator animals that can feed on insects and many insect larvae. In Philippines and South China, many rice pests are heavily predated by the spiders. Means in Philippines, South China, also the spiders which are predating upon different type of insect pests which are attacking on the rice field were reduced by the spiders. So spiders serves as a predator, arachnid. Spider serves as a predator and which predates upon the different type of insect pests which are attacking onto the rice field in South China and Philippines. In China, there are five different families have been reared. In China, five different families have been reared and released on rice and the cotton crops against a broad range of insect pests with a considerable success. Means in China, there are five different families of the arachnids. In China, there are five different families of the class arachnid, including spiders or scorpions, which have been reared and released in the rice field and the cotton field so as to control the vast range or the broad range of the insect pest with a considerable success. So this is about the predators like spiders and scorpions belonging to class Arachnida and which are also helps to control the insect pest from rice or cotton field. So this can be employed as a predator to control different type of insect pest. Then next one class, that is Acarina. Acarina, that is this is also belonging to predator category of the insects. So the major predators of the phytophagous mites. Acarines are acarines, that is mites. Acarines belonging to Acarina is again a order of the class Arachnida, order Acarina, phylum Arthropoda. So this is the arthropod belonging to class Arachnida and the order Acarina includes ticks and mites. So the major predators of the phytophagous mites are carnivorous mites and most of which belong to the family Phytocidae. So these carnivorous mites serve as the predators. So the use of these predatory mites against spider mites was in a greenhouse in UK and the USA on the cucurbits and the tomatoes with a spectacular success. So in UK and USA they have used the predatory mites against the spider mites which are the pest of the cucurbits and the tomatoes in the greenhouses, but which are also controlled by the acarine mites, which are predator mites and which are predating upon the spider mites. So predatory mites of the acarina are used for the control of the cucurbits and the tomatoes in a greenhouse with a spectacular success, and these particular predators are used in UK and USA successfully. Various companies now providing commercial scale of phytocid mites for the biological control purpose. Means there are several industries. There are several industries which are rearing or producing these predator mites on the commercial scale, and can be sold to the others for the purpose of biological control. So acarine mites can be grown on commercial scale, that is predator mites, and can be used against the variety of insect pest or the even for the control of spider mites for the purpose of controlling different insect pest or the spider mites uh, effectively. So various companies, there are various companies which are now producing or uh, rearing the predator mites on commercial scale of the Phytocidae family, and which are then used or sold for the purpose of biological control. Then insects means insect itself. There are certain type of insects which themselves serve as the predators of the other insects or the other stages, maybe eggs, larvae, or different life stages, maybe adults of small size, can be predated by the variety of insects and which also serves as predators. So the last group of the predators belonging to class Insecta. So predaceous insects are important controlling factor for many insect pests, and there are several natural predators belonging to different orders such as plant bugs, Aureus minutus has been used in China since 1976 for the control of various cotton pests. So, predaceous insect like a plant bug, Aureus minutus, which has been used in China for the control of various cotton pests. Then Platymeris levicollis is an important predator of rhinoceros beetle adults and has been introduced from Zanzibar into India. Fiji. Each adult bug can destroy one adult beetle. Each adult bug can destroy one adult beetle per day and may live for 4 months. So, this bug, that is levicollis, Platymeris levicollis is an important predator or a bug which is predating upon the rhinoceros beetle adult. So, adult stage of the rhinoceros beetle, adults of rhinoceros beetles are predated or fed by the Platymeris levicollis type of bug. So, this adult bug of the Platymeris levicollis can eat or consume one adult rhinoceros beetle per day, and this bug can survive or live for about 4 months. Means within a 4-month period, one bug can predate upon about 120 number of adults of the rhinoceros beetle. So this is what the capacity of the adult bug in reducing the number of rhinoceros beetle. So this can also be reared and released in the field so as to control the rhinoceros beetle from the field. Then the insect like Diptera. In a Diptera, there are also many predators which predate upon Coccidia beetles. Coccidia beetles. There are many predators. In a Diptera means Diptera, order Diptera includes the flies and mosquitoes. Insects like flies and mosquito are included in the order Diptera of class Insecta. So many predators of the Diptera predate upon Coccidia. This includes the pest like beetles. The overflies the hoverflies have predaceous larvae. Hoverflies have predaceous larvae means the larvae of the hoverflies acts as a predator and they predate upon or feed upon aphids, coccids and other small plant bugs and small caterpillars. So, the larvae, predaceous larvae of the hoverflies can feed upon the pest like aphids, coccids, and other small plant bugs and small caterpillars. The order Hymenoptera, including bees and wasps. The order Hymenoptera, including the insects like bees and wasps, which feed upon other insects. Then Vespa and Polistes, these are the wasps, are general predators in a cotton crop and predating upon ants, red tree ants are useful for controlling insect pest of the citrus coconut bug. So the Vespa and Polistes type of wasp which are general predators and predating upon the pest of the cotton crop. Then ants, red tree ants are useful for the controlling insect pest of the citrus, coconut bug, etc. The Neuroptera insects, another category of the predators of the insect, that is Neuroptera insects, are almost entirely predaceous both as adult and larvae, and hence they are important for the natural control of the variety of insect pest. So these are the different groups of the predators. These are the different groups of the predators organisms, that is mammals, birds, then reptiles, amphibians, pisces, arachnids, acarines, and the insects. So these are the different groups of the predators serves as a natural enemies or the predators of the variety of insect pest and can successfully exploited or utilized for the control of the different type of insect pest from the agricultural crops. Then Coleoptera, this is again one example, Coleoptera. So the insects like Coleoptera including beetles. So Coleoptera includes many important groups of the predators belonging to family Coccinellidae and the example of which are ladybird beetles. So ladybird beetles of the order Coleoptera, then Meloidae, that is Millabris, etc. are the important groups which control the rhinoceros beetles, aphids, coccids, grasshoppers, banana weevils, etc. So, the ladybird beetles or Millabris type of beetles belonging to order Coleoptera. So, these are the category of the beetles and which are predaceous and controlling the different type of insects such as rhinoceros beetle, aphids, coccids, grasshoppers, banana weevils, etc. and will ultimately help in controlling the different type of insect pest. Then second category of the group of organisms which are also acting as natural enemies of the different type of pest and acting as a parasite or predating or feeding on to the different other group of pest as a parasites. So we'll explain the parasites, the second category of the natural enemies of the different type of pest. So parasites, the three outstanding groups of the insect parasites are the Tachinidae belonging to order Diptera, then Chalcidoidea and Ichneumonidae. Chalcidoidea and Ichneumonidae both are hymenopterans. So Tachinidae is a family of the order Diptera and uh, Chalcidoidea and Ichneumonidae, these are the two orders of the two suborders of the order Hymenoptera. So these are two hymenopteran groups. So these are the three important outstanding groups of the insect parasites belonging to family Tachinidae of the order Diptera and Chalcidoidea and Ichneumonidae. These are the two super orders. These are the suborders or the families of the order Hymenoptera, including bees and wasps. So these are three outstanding groups of the insect parasites belonging to Diptera or Hymenoptera are vitally important both in a natural and biological control of the variety of insect crop pest. So intentionally or with the study of uh, these two groups, that is Diptera and Hymenoptera, we can recognize the natural enemies of the different type of crop pest or insect pest of the variety of crops, and we can culture them, rear them on a large scale, and then we can use them as uh, uh, equipment equipment for the biological control of these insect pest. So the tachinidae parasitize the tachinidae, so insects, that is dipteran insects, including flies. So tachinidae flies, which parasitize a very large range of hosts, including the larvae of Lepidoptera, the larvae and adults of Coleoptera and Hemiptera. Then Ichneumonidae and Braconidae wasps parasitize a wide range of insects ranging from the wood-boring larvae, cereal stem borers, aphids and scale insects. The Chalcidoidea includes 19 family, most of which are parasites of the caterpillars, beetle larvae, fly larvae and the pupae, and uh, large number feeding on the aphid scales, mealybugs, and other hemiptera. Then the trichogramma wasps are solely egg parasites on the eggs of hemiptera, lepidoptera, and some diptera and orthoptera. So see, these are the different type of uh, outstanding group of the predaceous insects belonging to order Diptera and Hymenoptera, and their uh, families are uh, various genera, their families or various genera having several species of the predaceous insects which are predating upon various type of or wide range of insect pests which are attacking or damaging variety of crops, and that can be controlled by using the different type of insects belonging to these two orders, that is Diptera and Hymenoptera, Tachinidae, Chalcidoidea, Ichneumonidae, or even Braconid type of wasp, even Trichogramma type of wasp. So these are the various groups of the predaceous insects belonging to order Diptera, such as Tachinidae. Then the examples, that is Chalcidoidea, Ichneumonidae, family Ichneumonidae, Braconidae, then Trichogramma. These are the examples of the Hymenoptera, and which can be used as a parasites of the different stages, maybe eggs, maybe larvae or adults of the variety of insect pests which are attacking on different type of crops. So can be successfully used for the control of the different type of pest or a crop pest which are the category of insect pest. Then nematoda. So nematodes, a few species of the nematodes, that is roundworms. A few species of nematodes are entomophagous, means feeding on to the insects. So there are few species of the nematodes which are feeding or predating upon the insects and are being used very successfully in controlling population of the mosquito larvae in ponds and swamps. The nematode bacterium complex available commercially to be effective against some rice stem borers. Even we can use the nematode bacterium complex. Even we can use the nematode bacterium complex which is available commercially. So that can be simply purchased from the commercial producer, and can be used effectively against some rice stem borer as a equipment or agent for the biological control purpose. So nematodes are also used for the control of either mosquito larvae or for the control of some rice stem borer from the paddy fields. Then third category of the biological agents. So already we have explained the biological agents, that is predators and the parasites. Now third one, that is pathogens. So there are different type of pathogens or the microorganisms which are causing various diseases. So that will also help in a natural control or the biological control of the variety of crop pest. And they are bacteria, viruses or fungi. So pathogens. So control of insect pest by using the pathogens is sometimes referred to as a microbial control, because we can using the microorganisms, that is bacteria, viruses or the fungi, for the control of insect pest. And there are three main groups. There are three main groups concerned are fungi, bacteria and viruses. There are three main groups concerned or serves as pathogens causing different diseases in the insect pest, and they are fungi, bacteria and viruses. So we'll explain them one by one. Fungi. First we'll explain fungi. So fungi are responsible for producing antibiotics. Fungus or fungi basically are used for the production of antibiotics, and apparently about 300 antibiotics do show some promise as a pesticides. Means out of these 300 antibiotics which are produced by using the fungi. So with the use of fungi, we can synthesize or we can manufacture the antibiotics, and there are about 300 antibiotics produced from the fungi. So out of which we can use as a pesticides. Out of these 300 antibiotics, some can be used as a pesticides. They also act directly. Even the fungi, certain fungi can act directly as a killing agents or inhibitors of the growth or reproduction. So there are certain fungi which can directly used for the destruction or the killing of the insect pest, or as the inhibitors of growth or the inhibitors of the reproduction of the insects. And some of the better known examples of the fungi are Entomopthora musci, Entomopthora musci, which attacks muscoid flies, which attack onto the muscoid flies. So this is the fungus attacking or useful in killing muscoid flies. Then Botrytis tenella. Botrytis tenella is another fungus which can be used against the white grubs, which attack the white grubs of the Coleoptera or family Scarabaeidae. Then chinchbug fungus, African locust fungus, which attack on the Heteroptera, Lepidoptera and Orthoptera type of insects. So chinchbug fungus and African locust fungus can attack onto the variety of insect pest belonging to order Heteroptera, Lepidoptera and Orthoptera. Means different type of fungi can also be employed for the control of different crop pest belonging to the category of insects. Then second type of pathogens, that is bacteria. So several disease causing bacteria are employed or used for the insect pest control. So different type of bacillus are specific to the caterpillar and the beetle larvae, that is lepidopteran larvae called as caterpillars, or the coleopteran larvae, that is beetle larvae. So number of caterpillars and the beetle larvae can be controlled by using different type of bacilli or bacteria which are causing the diseases in the caterpillars or the beetle larvae, and ultimately will help in controlling these two type of larvae as a pest. They are also called as biological insecticides. The different type of bacteria, disease causing bacteria, when used for the control of different pest or the stages of the insect pest or larvae of the insect pest, called as biological insecticides, and are available from Fairfax Biological Laboratories in USA. Means in USA, the biological insecticides are also manufactured, means a different type of bacteria which acts as a disease causing agents can be intentionally used as a biological insecticides in America, and which are manufactured by Fairfax Biological Laboratories and are uh, sold for the purpose of control of different insect pests as a biological insecticide. And these preparations are short-lived. These preparations are short-lived, and so repeated applications are required in a field trials. Means the doses or the use of these biological insecticides as a bacteria will have to repeat time to time. Means several applications are required because of their short lifespan. Short span means they can survive for shorter, means they can remain active, for shorter period of the time, and hence several applications or the repeated applications are essential in the field trials so as to control the pest effectively or successfully. Then third category of the pathogens, that is viruses. Viruses. So viruses are also commonly found attacking insects in the wild population of the caterpillars and the beetle larvae as well as sawfly larvae. So different lepidopteran, coleopteran or dipteran larvae can be controlled. Different coleopteran, lepidopteran or dipteran larvae can be controlled by the different type of viruses. So viruses are also commonly found attacking on the insects. Viruses are also commonly found attacking on the insects in a wild populations of the caterpillars, bitter larvae as well as sawfly larvae. Means these are the larvae belonging to order Lepidoptera, Coleoptera and the Diptera. The two main type of entomophagous viruses, the two main type of entomophagous viruses such as granulosis virus and polyhedrosis virus. So there are two type of viruses called as granulosis viruses and polyhedrosis viruses, which can intentionally used against different larvae belonging to order Lepidoptera, Coleoptera and Diptera for the control of the insect pest of these insect orders. So these viruses are useful for the control of a codling moth, then summer fruit flies, and cabbage white butterfly, then cotton semi-looper. So these are the larvae. These are the larvae and the adults of the these are the larvae and the adults belonging to the category of the pest belonging to the orders, that is Lepidoptera or the coleopterans. So these are the two type of viruses, granulosis virus and polyhedrosis virus, which are entomophagous and can be effectively used against the caterpillars, beetle larvae and the sawfly larvae, and this can be used for the control of codling moth, summer fruit flies, cabbage white butterfly, and common cotton semi-looper. These are the examples of the pest which are controlled or which can be controlled by using the viruses of two types, that is granulosis virus and polyhedrosis virus, as biological agents for the control of number of insect larvae which acts as the pest. Then sterilization, genetic manipulation, use of pheromones, and the use of resistant varieties of the crop plants are also included in the biological control. So, in addition of predators, parasites, and pathogens, in addition to predators, parasites, and the pathogens as a biological agents to control the variety of insect pest or the crop pest, the techniques such as sterilization, genetic manipulation, use of pheromones or use of hormones, the use of resistant varieties of the crop plants are also included in the biological control measure. Then we'll explain little bit regarding the advantages of the biological control. Advantages of biological control. The main advantages are there are no toxic effects. There are no toxic effects. Secondly, no development of resistance by the pest. No development of the resistance by the pest. No residues of poison in the soils and rivers left. Means there is no residue. There is no chance of residues of the poisons in the soil or water or river water uh, remains. Then no buildup of toxin in the food chains. No buildup of the toxin in the food chains. Means there is no chance of contamination of the foods, different food or water, which are the parts of the food chain. So no buildup of toxin or no addition of the toxins in the food chains. Then no killing of pollinators, no killing of pollinators or development of secondary pest through the destruction of their natural enemies. So there is no any adverse effect on the growth of the plants through the pollination or the development of the secondary pest through the destruction or killing of their natural enemies. Then biological control is self-adjusting. The biological control is self-adjusting or self-regulating and does not require the careful timing and organization. So this will not require any intention. This will not require any time bound activities. This will not require a time bound activities, that is careful timing and the organization, because biological control is a self adjusting or self regulating type of activity and can be effectively serve for the purpose of pest control. Then regarding disadvantages of biological control. Biological control of pest Biological control of pest is the eradication or destruction or suppression of the insect pest by artificial introduction of their natural enemies such as predators, parasites, or disease causing organisms. So biological control is the process of control in which there is a eradication or killing or destruction or suppression of insect pest by the artificial introduction of the natural enemies such as predators, parasites, and pathogens or disease causing organisms. In the recent years, its scope is enlarged. So there is a much scope in the recent times by the utilization of sterilization technique. So in recent years, the sterilization technique also. So biological control includes three steps, that is introduction or rearing and release of the insect enemies. Introduction, rearing and release of the insect enemies. So these are the three steps usually involved in the biological control. That is introduction, that is to recognize or to find out the natural enemies of the particular pest. Then second step, that is rearing or growing these insect pests or predators on a large scale, and third steps, that is the release of these predators in the field so as to reduce the pest population. There are about 220 examples. There are about 220 examples of successful biological control against 110 species of the pest in about 60 countries. So, the biological control measure is employed. There is a tremendous use of the biological control measure or the method successfully for the biological control of 220 species, 220 examples of the successful biological control against 110 species of the pest, 110 species of the pest, and this is done in about 60 countries. So there are 60 different countries which has employed, there are 60 different countries which has used the biological control measure successfully for the control of 110 species, and there are such 220 successful examples of the biological control against 110 species, and this is practiced in about 60 countries. In USA, in America, about 20 serious pests in America, about 20 serious pests are under biological control. But biological control is not successful due to following drawbacks. So there are certain drawbacks or there are certain disadvantages of the biological control. So first one is it is very lengthy process. So biological control measure is a lengthy process and the initial cost in evolving biological control or agents is quite expensive for exploration of effective natural enemies or to find out or to grow the effective natural enemies, and the implementation of the procedures also involve the quite substantial cost. So this is lengthy process or this requires a large amount of cost, large amount of cost for the uh, finding out or to establish or to use the natural enemies. So this requires much time and much cost. So this is lengthy process and this is extensive process to find out the effective natural enemies, and its implementation procedure is also expensive. Then it is time consuming and sole dependence, therefore liable to crop loss for quite some time. So there may be, due to the time consuming process, this may lead to the loss of the crop due to the attack of the pest. Then during epidemic outbreaks of the pest, the time lag between the release of natural enemies and its effect on the suppression of the pest population may cause heavy loss to the crops. So sometimes there may be there may be sudden attack. Sometimes there may be sudden attack of the pest from the outside or in a different countries or outsides or foreign regions or different habitats. So there is a sudden attack of the insect pest, and to find out their natural enemies will become a difficult task. So, so whenever there is a epidemic outbreaks, means the pest population which is coming from the outside countries or the longer distance. So it will become difficult to find out its natural enemies, and up to the finding out the natural enemies of such foreign pest, it will become difficult to find out their natural enemies, and this will take much of the time. So in that period, there may be a loss of the crop. Then a pathogen is often difficult to maintain in a virulent and viable state. A pathogen is often difficult to maintain in a virulent and viable state. Means whenever we are going to use different pathogens, this will also become a difficult process to maintain the virulent and viable state of the pathogens so as to use them as a disease causing agent or the biological agent to control the pest. Then unpredictable changes, climatic conditions may impair the efficacy of the pathogens and the natural enemies. So there are some unpredictable changes or the climatic conditions which will impair the efficacy or the effectiveness of the pathogens and the natural enemies. Then difficulty of producing some pathogens in a large quantities. Difficulties of producing some pathogens in a large quantities. So this is also a difficult process to produce the large quantity of pathogens so as to use them as a biological agents in a large quantities. Then results are not as quick as insecticides. The most important drawback of the biological control is the results, that is control of the insect pest, control of the pest population is not quick as in case of insecticides. The biological control D. Back, D. Back in 1973 defined the biological control as the study and utilization of the parasites, predators, and the pathogens for the suppression of the pest population densities. So this is the definition of the biological control according to D. Back in 1973. He defined D. Back in 1973 defined the biological control as the study and utilization. Biological control is defined as the study and utilization or use of parasites, predators, and the pathogens for the suppression or reduction of the pest population densities. Adoption of biological control procedures. Adoption of means actual practice of biological control. Actual practice of biological control, that is adoption of biological control procedures, includes inoculation. Inoculation, that is introduction of new species of natural enemies. Inoculation or introduction of new species of a biological control agent. Then secondly, mass rearing, and third, augmentation, that is release. Mass rearing and release, that is augmentation, and the conservation and encouragement. So these are the steps. These are the steps of the biological control measure. These are the steps of the implementation. These are the steps of implementation of the biological control measure, such as inoculation or introduction of new species of biological control agent. One. Second, mass rearing and release of the biological agent to control the pest, that is second. And thirdly, the conservation and the encouragement. Conservation of the biological agents and the encouragement of the farmers to conserve or to utilize the biological agents for the purpose of control of insect pest from the crop field. So this is what about the biological control. So today we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue with the next method of control measure, that is pheromone control. Thank you.